Let's get rid of the music for a bit. Oh, I almost lost it. How you doing, my guys? How's everyone? Let me put the chat in this other window. I need to move my shit here. How do I pop up? Oh my god, I lost all my streaming practice in these past 2 weeks. The fuck? I think we have it properly there. Can you see me all right? Am I properly framed? That seems all right. Oh, my hair. I'm trying to grow it out a bit to use it a bit more, like longer, you know what I mean? But it's all over the place. I really don't know if I'm gonna keep it that way. So how you doing, my guys? How's everyone been? We'll start in a couple seconds. Let's just wait for a couple more people to join in. I've been trying, I don't know, I lost my connection from my cell phone to the Elgato, the key light, and I can't put it stronger. I don't know why it's not connecting. Shout out to Elgato, shitty connection. Can you hear me all right, guys? Or it's a bit weak? Because I changed a bit the connections of everything, and I'm not sure if it's working properly. I feel like if I go too away, then it's not great. But let's check so. Yo. I think that works, right? Yo, how's everyone been? Let's take a look at the Discord. So not so many pieces to give feedback on. So if you want to super quick, like drop yours, maybe I can take a look at it. But the ones that we do have are alright. I really wanted to take a moment to react to my pieces. Yo, where is the... Oh, sorry guys, this is like completely... I don't know why it's so unorganized. We have a couple here. So yeah, we have a few. But before we start with this, let me check one thing on the camera. Sorry, guys. I'm like a lot, like too warm. That's better? That's too cool. That should work, I feel. Yeah, that's great. I need to take a look at what's happening to the Elgato, like the Elgato, like the light, because it's driving me crazy. I can't put it like stronger. So yeah, let me know, guys, if you have some question maybe about the exercise or the channel or whatever it is. There's a lot of people that joined yesterday from the story that I did. I don't leverage stories that much, but I don't know, when Instagram, it's all over the place now, like Reels. I don't know if it's happening to some of y'all, like Reels are performing like complete ass nowadays. I don't know what it is, like, but carousels are doing amazing. Like, I think that's a bit of a break for us, because we don't want to really be doing all that forced Reels, you know what I mean? But images, carousels are working amazing for me this last couple of months. So you should try that. If you're kind of struggling with Instagram, like do like a nice carousel. You can do a poster and have it cropped in a bunch of like the smaller pieces for a carousel. Put it, if you need to put a sound to it so it appears on the Reels tab. But yeah, carousels are doing amazing nowadays. Let me share this on my... Sorry guys, let me share this on the how do you say? On the Discord, sorry. Yo. Announcements, we're live. So yeah, other than that, internet is finally fixed. It seems like, I don't know what was happening there, like it was crazy. We had just moved in, it wasn't working, but now it's all right. It was just around the point that I needed to go to Texas. I went to a trip in New York, and then Texas, I attended the Creator Camp Film Fest, which I did posters for movies in the event. And let me tell you guys, like, what a wholesome, like, crazy experience to have been able to be a part of the event, come and go into Texas, meeting the creators, met a bunch of wonderful people from all walks of life that were coming together just to meet people, right? It wasn't that much about the movies, at least for the people that I saw were going. They just wanted to meet other creative people. You know, I saw a lot of people that maybe don't have that friends that get you, you know what I mean, that you can sort of bounce ideas off of and get that instant feedback, you know, and get those creative juices flowing. I think it's important to have that to some extent close by, you know what I mean, be it like a partner ideally, but could be your close friends, or at least like a group of friends that you made online. That's what I set up the Discord. But I guess reaching out and going to these kinds of events is really important. Like I felt like, let me tell you something, guys. The last day of the event, I stayed for one more day. Like the second day, like I cried in my room. Like, take it for what you will, but I'm not accustomed to being surrounded by so much creative people. And I don't know if this has to do maybe like with the state of this creator landscape. I think it might be a bit more developed in the States, just by nature of, I really haven't thought about it that much, but here in Argentina, everything still it's too much like numbers driven, you know. It's a lot like influencer culture, just by the sake of success online, you know what I mean. There aren't as many like storyteller creators, you know what I mean, because when you have like these internet personalities, like it veers into two branches. I feel like you have like the purebred influencer, you know, that's every interaction it seems like it's trying to sell you something. And then you have like the creator, right, the one that I'm trying to veer more towards that. And of course those needs to sell stuff. This is not what I'm saying, but everything, at least in my country, it's a little bit more leaned towards the internet personality, and it's just everything, it's a little bit more me, very egotistical, success-driven, numbers, algorithmic, you know what I mean? And here, what was really nice about the Creator Camp event was that everything was far more focused on the craft, you know what I mean, on making movies and telling something, you know. Everybody was just talking about cameras and cool ideas for videos, you know. So yeah, I felt much more at home with that kind of people, you know what I mean. So tremendous experience. I highly encourage you to go follow the Creator Camp accounts, right? The films now are available for you to watch on Patreon. I did the posters for Natural 20, Ashes to Ashes, and Mama Do Film. Mama Do Film was that guy, my guys. Like Natural 20 was super funny. Like it was crazy. Like I told Suaden this in the party after the event, but he's crazy. Like he will be for me like Scott Pilgrims, you know, but he'll be the next comedy one, you know what I mean. He's such a vibe. Right? And Monique, ultra talented, the way that she of this amazingly intricate that in scenes that pull you in, right? They have a lot of grit, a lot of texture, and a lot of complexity, right? And the fact that she tries to do everything herself, but not because of some ego thing or whatever. She's really drawn to that process by herself, and she delivers in a way that I have never like seen. Like you would see that and say, that was done by a fucking crew, you know what I mean? But none of that. She's crazy. And then Mamadou, this guy is so deep. Even when he talks, like his voice it takes you to this deep like frame of mind, you know what I mean? And his movie, if you're into graphic design, which I guess so, because you're watching this shit, you know, his film was I think it was the most like graphic of all of them, you know, in the way the scenes are sequenced, and the way he pulls in and out with every shot, you know what I mean. And then he does these voiceovers in French and then in English, and it creates some like nice separation between the inner dialogue and the parts of him that maybe at least I understood it in a sense that when he's speaking another language, it's like the part of him that's talking about more from that, how do you say? I lost the word. It will come to me. But the part of him that's not really ingrained into this new culture, or that maybe speaking about his past identity, you know. I don't know. I need to maybe watch that again because we were talking about with the guys, since that's not exactly it. But yeah, now they are screening on Patreon from the Creator Camp guys. So really highly encourage you to go. This is not sponsored. I'm just pointing you to cool shit. You know what I mean? This is not like some product blog or whatever the fuck. So yeah. Such a vibe. And it was crazy also to see all the people, like the natural 20 t-shirt was, I think, was one of the most sold. Like everyone was with one. It was crazy. And yeah, another thing that I also saw a lot of on the film fest was a lot of people that had a nice job, because to do cinema and to start getting into filmmaking, you have to come from a slight privileged place, you know what I mean? You don't need to, like, you can tell stories with whatever device you have at hand, you know what I mean? But I saw a lot of nice cameras, right? People that maybe come from other spots, right? That have a nice job and they're doing all right, but suddenly that ache, you know what I mean? To do something creative, right? And many turn to what's at hand, you know, there's something that they feel maybe they know more, which is the camera, right? We're closer to this photography medium, the video medium, because of our cell phones. And I saw a lot of that, a lot of nice cameras, a lot of people that are veering towards, or veering off, let's say, like the comfortableness, or they have, right? Maybe they feel in a spot that they are safe, and what better way to take a chance that relegating your time to art, you know what I mean? And that's fire, right? I guess that if you're in a nice position, right, and whatever the case may be, to turn to art is to risk it all, and that's amazing, you know what I mean? So yeah, how y'all doing? The goat, my guy, Freeze Terror. Oh, I actually forgot to put the YouTube chat here on the. It doesn't matter. But because it's better than when we chop the video up for the YouTube, you know. But YouTube gang, if you're watching this is from stream, so subscribe, turn the notification gang, so you see the streams, you know what I mean? So yeah, that was Creator Camp, was crazy. I'm doing the blog now. I'm editing the blog for the part of the New York trip and then the Creator Camp stuff. It was nice that they set up like a nice how do you say, like a nice drive, so everyone could put their footage of the festival, because I realized that I undershot that like crazy. I was living in the moment, you know what I mean? And I thought that I was overshooting. I was pretty sure that I was overshooting, you know what I mean? I was pretty sure that I was overshooting, but it turns out I was not. but yeah, it's nice. I'll do, of course, and in the blog I put like credits to all the footage. But yeah, like, go give them a follow, go to events near your area, go meet people, like people that you met online that maybe are from your hometown. Reach out, go grab a coffee, put like a cent to their online like profile picture, you know what I mean? It changes a lot. It changes quite a bit, right? So, and another quick thing that I feel I want to talk about, it's that it's been pretty recently that for me, I realized that I needed to reach out, right? Like, I want to make a big point about it because I feel it's really important, right? For a big chunk of my career as a graphic designer, I thought that with my own input, it would be enough, that my taste would be enough to pull me through it and to acquire all the bits of not just information but inspiration, right? I thought that with my taste was enough. And I think it's nice when you have the ability to realize when you're on some bullshit, because one regret that I have now, one of the few, is that I regret not realizing this earlier. Because having others to bounce ideas off of, and just use like a catalyst, you know, to use them also as inspiration, right? And by listening to others, you get caught in your own shit, you know what I mean? Like, you realize stuff about yourself, which is not the same when you're on your own like bubble, right? We, especially as designers, because this was more like a creators event, but it was more towards the filmmaking part, you know what I mean? It was more leaned towards filmmakers, and already the camera, there's something with the camera that makes you get out of whatever you are, right? Makes you go into the street. You undoubtedly gonna meet people, right? But the designer and the digital artist, in that regard, it's easy for us to turn inward pretty heavily, you know, and more if you're like me, you like technology, you like tech, you like being sat down, you know. It's pretty impersonal to work like this, but you get used to it, and it has its advantages. I'm not saying like don't lock in, you know what I mean? Like, lock in, it can get you far, but you need to practice the reaching out and not being so fragile that you can't how do you say, like, rub shoulders and be with other people, right? I was a lot in that headspace of, no, I don't want to be disturbed because they're gonna veer me off track of my work, whatever it is, you know. Like, I think there is some power to that, but that can easily turn into blindfolds, you know what I mean? So reach out, talk to people you might think ill of. You don't know what you don't know what you might learn, and yeah, I guess that's the message of the day, guys. Like, reach out. So yeah, let's hop into the Discord, my guys. Let's take a look at some shit what you have done. Daniel, I can do my guy. Okay, let's jump into the Discord. I'm a bit rusty with the how do you say, the OBS interface, so sorry about that. Here, let me open Photoshop. Let me do like this, boom. Let me open a new file. I'm gonna just drop here so we can look at some of the pieces the guys have made. RGB, let's go. I had already some set up here. Let me look at the Discord because I feel like there is one at least that I didn't put in here. I'm all over the place, guys. Sorry, I have a lot on my mind. Let's go. I pronounce stuff correctly, you know what I mean? It's what I do. Oh, I'm spacing out, sorry, here. Oh, there was this one that we could take a look also, but I don't like this one. Like, bro tried, but I guess he did what he called to him. Okay, let's talk about this. We can talk about this one. Actually, let's talk about first in this one. And the next exercise, let's talk about this one first, because I think it could be cool. Let me try another camera for this. Oh, there it is. Yeah. Sorry guys, this is a mess. There, boom. There is good. So this piece, let me turn to the other camera. Oh, do you hear me all right? My OBS it's going crazy, but it doesn't matter. There. Oh, this camera is better, I guess, to take a look at the work, because I don't like to put my camera in the working space, because then you start looking to what I'm pressing and whatever. I want you to just see the piece, right, and what we're talking about. Here, the thing with this piece is that Alex, my guy, the thing with this piece in its current state, it's that wait 1 second. Oh shit. Here, the thing, sorry guys, the thing with the piece in its current state is that it's not really like saying something other than that the notebook it's like to write stuff on. You'll get this more when we start to look at some of the other pieces, right? But one point of the exercise, or a nice thing to try out, is seeing if you can somehow elevate the object. You know, it's a notebook, but no problem, my guy. Jacob saying, hey man, sorry for being late. Don't worry, my G, it's all good. Back to what I was saying, like seeing if you can make a poster of something, like try to elevate it in some way, right? I love that you put it as this device to not lose your memories, but how can we do it? Can we do that graphically? You know, because we showed it as a notebook and we put some effects to it. We maybe lost a bit, like it's not really clear that it's a notebook. But I guess a nice way to try to tackle this exercise is seeing in which ways we can highlight, like what use do we have or we can find for the element itself, and translate that graphically somehow. I think there are ones here that do that pretty well, actually. For example, this one. Layers. For example, this one I really liked because the composition is good, right? It has those hierarchies, you know what I mean? Like the main image, it reads as one. Then we have the second part of the message that you read. And then, yeah, he has some bullshit miscellaneous stuff here, but they really complete the composition well, I feel. So nothing wrong with that. And yeah, a nice piece. And I like that the hang on, the messaging, right? Like to you hang on. It has this melancholic feel that the moment you see it, you go like there is something of the message that you need to figure out, right? And that makes it enticing, and that makes it interesting as a poster. So this is the kind of thing that we're trying to do, right? In what way we can subvert what the object is to turning it in more, you know what I mean? To use it as a symbol of more, right? So because at the end, that's what design is, how we can combine image with text and make like an alchemic magical procedure that makes it more, you know what I mean? Like we are not only ninjas, we're ninja sorcerers, you know what I mean? And that's actually factual, because we are dealing with complex etymological symbolism stuff. So stop tripping and let's do this shit, you know? This one I like I really like this one. Yeah. I hear my guy saying, thanks for making it a bit earlier. It's 10:30 p.m. in Europe. This is week 10 feedback. Week 9, we took it as like a free poster, like do whatever you want, and we had low submissions. Not so much people like uploaded those, which is all right. But for this one, we had a couple more, and for the next exercises, now the exercises, guy, are gonna are gonna get a bit more like difficult. You know what I'm saying? Like they're gonna push you a bit more like out of what you usually do. So I highly encourage you to try them. Like even this exercise, like try the exercises, right? And let me in you in a little secret. I started like this entire Design Dojo stuff not only as a way to create community and to help you, because I think that's a part of the mission that I have with Design Syndrome, is to actually help you guys, you know what I mean? But also as a way for me to revisit stuff that I know I need to try. I'm lazy like that, you know? So the exercises are like another excuse for me to try to revisit this kind of stuff and force myself to do it with you know what I mean? Because these are really nice like mental exercises and design perspectives to try, right? So we get out of the mechanical exercise we do every day when we try to post, because when without guidelines or a place to really anchor yourself like in a direction, you start to fall. My dog, sorry. Without that direction, you start to fall into whatever pattern it's easier for you. And I realized that for my work, we already know like my signature style, right? But I want to break a bit out from it. Like I like my style because it's a result of ways that I have to resolve stuff and the overall vibe that I feel that I want to transmit, right? But I really don't want to get caught up in like grain, texture, and gradient maps. You know what I mean? I'll still do that, but I want to push myself out of that to then use it with intention, not use it because it's the only thing that I know of, or because it's the easy tool to grab. You know what I mean? And coming back to what I was talking earlier about the connections, right? Like I have friends, for example, my friend Casiel, a tremendous designer, and we talk. I just reconnected with him. We weren't talking like for a long time, and from reconnecting with him and having these talks about art, that reconnected me with this, right? And this chat with this friend brought in some topics that I had on my mind and that I discussed with my partner and with other friends. So you don't really know where these ideas are gonna come from, you know? So, sorry, that was a terrible segue, but again, reach out and again, like try different shit, right? The same way we try to reach out for different people, try to reach out for different ideas and ways to work, you know what I mean? Today, for my element, I choose this, like, which is like screws, and I did some photos, and I tried some video loops or whatever, and I never do that, right? I never do that because I'm really comfortable in the computer, and it's just to show to the degree that I'm lazy, you know. And yeah, all these exercises I feel are a really nice way to break out of that. So yeah, do the fucking exercises, guy. You know what I mean? How would you feel, guys, if I do like because I want to do like the Design Dojo, I'm preparing like a nice document to make it like a proper yearly course. You know what I mean? And it would be crazy to the ones that finalize it to make like a proper like diploma, which is it's not serious. I know, but it would be crazy, you know. Because these exercises are really abstract, but I think they are really great for tackling fundamentals and all the more abstract work that's not really reliant on effects. You know what I mean? Because I've talked about it in other streams, like you know what I mean? Like effects and tutorials are goated, but they should be like the last part in your arsenal that helps you finish whatever vision you have, right? The idea comes first, what you try to say confirms, and what you think comes first. You know, what's your literacy? What's your how do you connect the dots, right? In ways like this, right? Like we are seeing with these exercises, right? How do you connect the internal feeling of hanging on with the clips, right? How does that idea happen, and what more can come from that idea and from other objects, right? That's more important than the half tone effect. You know what I mean? So yeah, I guess these nice like abstraction exercises are far more powerful than a chrome text effect. You know what I mean? Then when it's needed and the chrome effect actually makes it go ultra how do you say, like ultra nice, then all for the better. But this is a bit harder to practice and a bit harder to make tutorials for. Like I feel this is a much more clear way in which we all can engage and seeing this, you know. Like, what does it mean? What does it do? Well, it's not that deep. It really is deep, you know? Like, it's that kind of stuff. Let me have some mate. Yo, guys, where are you all from? Like, let me know in the chat. In the chat. My guy, Bash, saying sup. What's good, my guys? Czech Republic. I'm from Argentina. Argentina in the house. Anyone from Argentina? Syria, let's go.
Sorry, I don't understand.
I wasn't talking to you, Siri. I said Syria. For sure. Let's go. You also have mate in Syria. No way. Nigeria. Daniel, it's a popular Nigerian name. Akinduro. It's Akinduro or Akinduro? Elias. Sorry guys, I'm gonna switch to Spanish just for a little bit. Gente de Argentina, los que el 17 va a haber un evento por acá por Palermo que voy a estar con este amigo Casiel que les decía y la marca de ropa mía. Vamos a estar, la marca de ropa que tengo con mi pareja, vamos a estar vamos a estar en un pop-up y nada, si quieren pasar a romper las bolas, a contar un par de chistes, vamos a estar ahí. Así que nada, nos sacamos una fotito. Ya. Pero bueno, eso, nos vemos ahí. Back to English. No, like no sugar in my mate. Like I drink it like, how do you say? Like bitter. No, with milk. Yeah, I know people that drink it with milk, but no, milk in the mate is crazy. Actually it doesn't sound that bad, but milk in the mate is crazy. Here we have mate. It's like a pretty bitter beverage, but I feel it's a much better option than coffee because of the tane, the matane, I think it's called in the mate. It's like the caffeine from coffee, but the release it's much slower, so you don't get all jittery, you know. But again, like I drink a jug of this. Like I drink 2 jugs of this, and I'll be walking up the ceilings. You know what I mean? Mate is crazy like that. But yeah, you don't get like instantly like jittery like with coffee. Can you guys hear me? Because I'm seeing the sound levels and it's crazy low. 1 second. Okay, let me put this right here. Let's see. Jacob is asking for feedback on his week 9 piece. Let's take a look at Bro's piece. Which one is it? Like, this is you? 1 second, my guy. Which one is it? Like, this is you? These ones. Latest week 9 before dropping week 10. Went quite far away from the initial clean look. Not sure if it's better or just made it dirty as fuck. Might code it with motion, but would most likely get cancelled by the whole industry for it. No. These are great, like, layout designs. I really like the imagery. Yeah, I like that you made the bunch. You see, week 9 was a bit freer. You could do whatever you want. So, oh, sorry. There is nothing like I could say to you like it's wrong, you know, because it was a free, like a free exercise. Oh, sorry. Yeah, but as a system, it works amazingly. Like, yeah. As week 8, it would be like a really nice, entry. Yeah, I really like it. I would need to take a look at it more in that mind frame. Like this entire, like the entire thing, I really love it. I feel that it's missing something a bit more editorial, like a more scattered page. It's lacking some blocks of like longer text, like more paragraph. I think it's lacking some of that. And the images, I feel that it would benefit from having a like more like one image like that's really big, and also the text, like every part it's a bit the same weight, you know what I mean? Like this weight over here, it's kind of the same of the weight here and kind of the same of the weight here. Like if you see it all from in separate like sectors, it's so pretty homogeneous, you know, the way you distribute the weights. Like it would be nice maybe to have one image with just a little text sprinkled, right? Don't do like all the same like weights in all of the parts. Like let it breathe more heavily in other parts and then blow it up and really make it like big and bold in other parts. Like this is beautiful, but I think it's lacking some variety in the way you distribute the hierarchies, if that makes any sense. You have more thing in the Dojo feedback. Oh, this is what you were saying. Yeah. So dipping down even into more chaos for the bold part and add more clean editorial pieces. Yeah. And by chaos, I don't mean like make it unstructured, just like add more variety in terms of having more busy parts and then more parts that make the pieces breathe more with more negative space. Like play with that, because everything here, the negative space feels like too homogeneous in the entire system, you know. Try to have one part in which the system can't breathe and it's all information that pretty scattered, and then play with having something really subtle, right? But yeah, we're going back. I don't want to go back to previous stuff. And sorry, my guy, I don't give like random feedback on pieces that are not from the the assignment. Sorry, not because of anything. It's just that when we are it's because I need to change the design criteria every time if I jump from piece to piece. And like we just saw now, it makes it kind of sluggish. It's easier if we are all in the same train and trying to, like funnel down on one specific stuff. So sorry, we did this one, which I think is great. Then we have this one. This one that I really liked. I mean, it has some things, you know what I mean? It's pretty similar to what I liked about the other one, like the whole letter together with the paper clip. I have to read too much into it to see the growth here. Like I feel like using the paper clip and somehow linking it to this idea of growth is really nice. Like, I don't know, maybe through holding together, I'm able to grow, right? But I love that you made the paper clip with the words. You didn't use like a photo, right? This is kind of the same because we saw it in other exercises, but I'm glad that you use like another way of representing it other than the photo. But you made it literal, but by bringing in the papers. It's not that it's wrong, but to that effect, you would have just used the paper clip and make it all pretty literal, and it would have been good also. It's like the decision seems a bit arbitrary, and no, sorry, not arbitrary, the contrary, like maybe a bit random and a bit like in design school they would say anecdotic. Anecdotic means that it's a decision that you made just because, like doing this, hold it together and making the text all like wiggle, it's anecdotic because it doesn't add anything. It's just an effect that you chose to do, and I don't even feel like brings anything extra to the piece of value. Yeah, also the grid that you used, it's a bit like oh fuck, the words escaped me. Like one second, I'm gonna look it online because I can't remember. Capricious? Nah, it's not capricious, the word. Yeah, like forced, let's say. The decision seems a bit forced, but I really love that you made the paperclip with type. Like you went that route. Yeah, I would maybe see if you could make it like more like symbolic and use the paperclip and see how you could link it more with this idea of growth, right? Because they hold it together. I guess like to riff off the previous piece, like it was nice that the clips were used to mean like hold on, but maybe it's a bit too lineal. You know what I mean? It's a bit too on the nose. But I guess it's nice for this exercise. Like we're not trying to do like the crazy lateral thinking, but this is good. Maybe I would try to make the decisions all make sense. Like if you're going for like this realistic sort of finish, like also put the in that regard, would it be cool to have these blocks of text also in the paper, like properly oriented, and yes, the hold it together is not like, I like the text, but it's not, the effect is not adding nothing to the composition. It makes it clash with the orientation of the paper clip also. Let me try one thing with this. I want to see what happens if let me see. Sometimes to you need to take out stuff like color. If I do like a quick posterize, where is my poster? My threshold. If I do a quick threshold, you can sort of start seeing things more clearly, and you can see if the piece works a bit better or not. Just by reducing the color, you can start to see it better. You can see how the composition becomes a bit more clear and palatable when you take out all the effects and everything. Let's put this here. I'm gonna do a duplicate so I don't mess up the original. Get rid of this. Right, and maybe we grab. And then we can sort of reinforce this line since you have already like this here. I'm just trying something like really simple to try if the composition maybe like could work, and with some decisions that are a bit less like less just because, you know, this is pretty just because also I feel, but I at least we are trying to fix or to place ourselves in a grid that he tried to suggest, you know. Like this, from this to this. You see, guys, how it works a bit better. Also, I just realized that it's competing too much. Like the point that it's like a factual point. Like the point was to make the object the main part, and here like they hold it together. It's doing too much of the work for the piece. So in this way, it's a bit, you look better. You look first for the paperclip and the holding on, and the holding on later, which helps you to really close a bit more the message, but after you have read the paperclip. So this is good. Now we have lastly this one. Let's go back to this camera. Yeah, this one I really wasn't sure if I should react to this one, because it's really like, let's not speak about the type. Like the type, it's awful. It's all over the place, but I like that he had an idea, right? He had an idea. I think it's a bit overused. The red and the blue pill, the matrix thing, but at least he grabbed an object that he had nearby and saw in a way that he could like reframe it to say something with the object, right? I guess he tried to do like an ad or something, and I guess the copy is like, if you're gonna make like a piece that's more like concept, you know, like you should really nail down like the copy and the words for it, because take the red pill, your pain ends. Take the blue pill, you stay in motion. Like, I don't know what that means, you know. I guess like maybe if the blue pill is like the competition, and then you need to take it again after a while because the pain come back, and with the red one like it goes out for good, or something like that. But I guess it's not really properly thought out like what he was trying to say, right? Your joints will thank you regardless. Red pill or blue pill? Yeah, I guess other than that, like also the both that are clearly like mirrored, it's kind of jarring to the eye. Like it's not that interesting because it's kind of super symmetrical, but then in the part below it you break that symmetry, right? So maybe you put the text of the blue. Maybe this goes here. This goes here. Oh, sorry. Right, and there's also this thing with the hierarchy levels. Like now it's a bit more clear, and I guess here you're missing some. Let me grab. Maybe some small copy here. Right, the first idea was pretty cooked, but at least this, I guess, fixes a bit the thing with the, how do you say, with the weights and everything, but it needs a lot more work. I just wanted to not spend so much time in this one. Yeah, also the spacing, the interline is not, it's not great. But yeah, let's just not dwell too much on this one. So yeah, I think that was everything that we had on the Discord, my guys. Yeah, Jacob is saying, I just need to take a bit more time with week 10 since I'd like to play with VFX for first time. Let's go, definitely looks better now. Thank you, my guy. So, okay, guys, before I jump into my piece, I wanted to show you something that I'm working with a client that I'm told that I can show you this because it's nice to, I can show you this stuff like now. Like I'm working with, let me go to my clients. Okay, this company, guys, it's called, wait. Oh shit. Oh my God, there. This company is called The company is called 1 of 0. It's a Canadian company. It's a Canadian company. They do peripherals. They do they sell mouses and accessories for keyboards like keycap set, mouse, desk pad, and they reached out to me to collaborate and make a collection of desk pads and keycap sets. So I'll be making a few options for them. I think I'm gonna make 3 desk pads and 2 keycap sets. So this is gonna be crazy. And this is the first mood board or preliminary set that I'm sending them. How do I move this to the side? One second, guys. My screen is tripping. Like that. So it will be the 1 of 0 design ninja toolset, design syndrome collaboration, and we're gonna be making. These are just the first drafts. I'll show you a more finalized designs that I just sent to do the first samples. But this is kind of the vibe we are going for, right? Some really quick inspiration for the labels, for the vibe. I already started doing something. It's not quite like this, but I wanted to just showing sort of the mood that I'm trying for the label designs. And these labels are gonna be printed on the designs. It's not like they're gonna be able to take it out, right? This is gonna be sort of inspo for the keycap set. I need to develop now more the full set. No, it's not Arabic. It's Japanese. It's Jiskana. It's like a Japanese layout that matches to the Latin keys. Then we are doing one of the 3D emboss effect. And I'm trying also, we want to try something like this for a keycap set. I need to develop more the system to also see how it would look like. And here we have other options like for the pad. Right, I wanted to also try something a bit more bold because I have the tutorial for the 3D effect. Look on my channel, my G. And I wanted to try something also a bit bolder because you know that for the desk pads, it's usually a piece that needs to be a bit understated. You know what I mean? Because it's not the centerpiece of your setup, right? But for this collection, I want to try to bump it up a bit and to be a piece that somebody looks at it and goes like, "That's a sick desk pad," you know what I mean? But at the same time, it doesn't take away from your setup, right? You can still look at it and it's a piece that's gonna complement it but works together on its own, you know what I mean? Like you could hang it and it will be fire. No, but it's not gonna be engraved, you know, it's gonna be like a simil printed effect. I sent the samples to see how it would look. I think it would look fire because printed it looks fire. I had a poster, but it could work, right? It's gonna be like a printed engraved. It's not gonna be engraved, you know. Now let me show you some of the more finalized designs that I'm sending. Again, these are not final. These are let's see if I can show you. Do you see? This is one. I'm working on these labels. How do I'm terrible with. Oh my God. I need to send it in PDF. These are the kind of labels I'm working on. Oh fuck, wait, it's gonna be better if I show you in Photoshop. I'm working on stuff like this, you know, like for the labels. You know, and we're gonna be trying that, for example, like this, something like this. We're gonna try also with a really subtle texture to see how it works. Also, we have this other version with some other small like label prints. So I'm really trying, because I've had a black black desk pad and it's pretty dirty, and actually if you put like a nice texture over it, we can like sort of hide like when it gets like scratched and a bit dirty, so it holds up a bit better, like looking pristine, you know what I mean, like looking like nice. And also the placement of the labels, I'm doing it in a way that for example, I have a pad here that's from them, so it's the measures that it's gonna be the ones that I'm designing. So like the mouse would get to around this point, you know, so maybe around this part, but this would be almost every time pretty like free. You would be able to see it. It's not like in the way, you know what I mean? And figured you have like a 60% like keyboard, you know, which most of the guys that use this kind of like gamer pads or more are more into the setup aesthetic usually tend to have. I don't have like numbers on that, but all the inspo that I see, like it's with smaller keyboards because you have more space for your mouse. I guess creators are gonna have numpads, so I have to take that into consideration, because this is the first collab that they have done with a like with a creator designer. So yeah, this one looks really great. This one I really like, with a really big label to the side. Yeah, this one I really liked. And I have another. It's pretty large document. Oh, this is the engraved one we're doing. These labels are all placeholders, because I'm gonna be designing proper labels, like more graphics for the entire set. We're just sending this to print to see how they look. But take a look at this, pretty Evangelion inspired, you know, the colors. But I think this in a pretty high quality print would look crazy. You know, like this in your setup would look crazy, like, come on. So yeah, I was trying different variations in the color. Yeah. And we had another one. This one, I'm pretty like stoked about it. I wanted to do firstly everything pretty dark and black, but as I started playing with color, I realized that we could do something really great. Like, look at this. Like all clean and shit. you know, something like this look crazy. Come on. But yeah, the project is coming along nicely, and it will be great to see what we have for the end of it. You know what I mean? Sorry, some of you were asking something. How do you get ideas on what kind of text blocks to include in your pieces? And like to add the support and information to my posters. Like I read a lot. Like I read, and I have for example, I just have this notion. Like I have a notion in which or my notes pad, or I send audios to myself like on WhatsApp from ideas, or I try to write it down when I grab like a nice phrase in a book, or something that would really spark that the imagination, right, and would look nice in a poster. Because if everything comes as an afterthought, it's not really adding to the poster, you know what I mean? Like the one that I did, I don't know if you saw the one that I did the other day. Let me see. Like this poster. Like this poster, like there is a worm in man's heart. That is from, I don't have it here, it's from the myth of Sisyphus. And it really stuck with me because it's such a powerful like phrase, you know what I mean? And then random measures for human flight, I don't know, those words like popped into my mind, and I felt they were good for the image, and it had something to do, I don't know, with the texture and the colors, and it felt like it was evocative in a way that it could be describing of the piece. It's really abstract for this one. I knew I wanted to add there is a worm in man's heart, but yeah, I don't really like to think of the things as I'm doing the poster, but because it needs to sound like powerful, you know, the things that you put in your posters it shouldn't be like an afterthought. Like that's why I encourage you, like my guys, like read a lot, read books, read articles, read whatever you can get your hands on, because all of that is gonna be fuel for your pieces, right? It's gonna spark imagery, right? Every phrase, it's gonna, since you're creative, you're designers, every phrase you sort of think about is gonna make you think in images, you know what I mean? And then you can marry those images with the words, you know, and create, not in the sense that you are describing with words the images, but you're creating these nice like abstract juxtapositions that add to the feeling, you know what I mean? So it's not that I come up with them, like I read them in books, and sometimes I do little spins on it because I feel it would sound better in a poster, or maybe I need to make it shorter to fit that specific word length I need for a poster. But yeah, if you want more ideas, like watch movies, play video games, read books, you know what I mean? Read books it's terrific because you'll be there sitting, then your mind starts going, you know what I mean? And you start thinking in images. I feel we more than most, right? We start to think in images, we more than most, and that's a huge asset to us, right? To have that library of ideas, of quotes, of food for thought, you know? And I think I talked about this in other stream in which I was saying like, this is gonna be our main asset, you know, the ability that we have to communicate with clients, with whomever it is, you know. So reading books, it's pretty OP now, right? Because there is AI, and AI is gonna level the barrier of entry, right? But at the same time, the ones that have the ability and the literal tool set to not just to prompt. I don't want to say like prompt is gonna be the new hot shit, you know, but to be able to tell, right, what's good, what's wrong, what's what, you know. You're gonna need to have the words for it. So reading is goated. And yeah, I have in my website, you have like a giant list of book recommendations. You have some philosophy stuff, self-help stuff. Everybody bashes on self-help, but self-help books like are goated. The people that say that self-help books are trash, it's because they are so up their own asses that they didn't. It's because all I get it, that I do get that it's all pretty me, you know, and some part of the self-help community is like that, but there are some goated self-help books, you know what I mean? Like, don't let anyone like make you feel trash about it. Some are goated, right? But don't make it everything that you read, right? Because then it all becomes about looking everything through the lens of self-optimization that will ultimately get you burnt out. You know what I mean? Like, it's not all about like me, improving, like optimizing, right? There are things that will make you more creative as you break yourself down. You know what I mean? Not in the sense of optimizing, right? But for example, I'm currently reading The Myth of Sisyphus, right? Some parts of that book like will make you have a panic attack, you know, or something by Dostoevsky, something dark, you know. It's not about feeling good all the time. Those kind of texts have a lot of symbolism and a lot of like words that spark images, you know, and that's food for thought, and that's what I like, you know. But a lot of fantasy, it's amazing. I'm chewing on Brandon Sanderson. My guys, take a look at this. I'm reading this. This is 1,000 plus. This is 1,000 plus pages, you know, and I'm munching through this. Like, I'll read this like it's nothing, you know. It's super. If you want to get into heavy, it's not heavy reading. It's like it's like a nice little read, you know. It's easy to read, but it's a lot of words, you know. I have already the second one. The fuck? Shit. Right, but this is the Stormlight Archive. You don't need to start with this. If you're gonna read like Sanderson, you can start by Mistborn. I'm just turning people into Branderson religion, you know what I mean? Like, start with Mistborn, it's crazy. If you want to read something dark, I mean, there is this book that I recommend to everybody. Here I have my go-to books. The ones that are here, I have like the collection over there, but these are the ones that I feel are go-to. These are all pretty easy books, but this is my most immediate, like, mixed reading list, right? It has some philosophy, some business books, but yeah, no fantasy here. Like, go read Brandon Sanderson and then read this, or read this and then you know. So first we have the Win Without Pitching Manifesto. It would be nice if it... Why? Focus. Oh, it doesn't want to focus. There, it focused. There. First, the Win Without Pitching Manifesto by Blair Enns. Right? And this is win. The Win Without Pitching Manifesto. This is a book about creative businesses and how we can shift the balance of power when talking to clients, right? Because yeah. Because sometimes we are so eager and desperate to get the client that shows in the power dynamic, and more so when we are just starting out. So that book, it's really about becoming a specialist, and not really about becoming the specialist. Like, you have to become the specialist, but it doesn't matter if you're the specialist. What matters is that the client perceives you as the specialist, right? Because he's coming to you because you know what's up. You are the one that understands the creative landscape, right? Not that he's coming to you because you can make an image. You know what I mean? So that book is about learning to negotiate and a bunch of creative business heavy stuff for the creative field, which is really amazing. Then we have oh fuck. Why is not focusing? I'm gonna shoot myself. There we have the Book of Five Rings by Miyamoto Musashi. This book is more like Eastern philosophy, let's say. Miyamoto Musashi was a samurai that lived around the 1600s. I guess I've talked about this book in this channel for like the sixth time. And this is a book that he kind of wrote for his future disciples. And it's a book that you have to revisit from time to time. It talks a lot about awareness and, I don't know, how to use your sight, how to use your... Yeah, it's the Vagabond. But this is the actual book that he wrote. Vagabond, it's based on his life. But yeah. Yeah, I have it. I'm reading it. I'm reading Vagabond at the moment. I'm at the 12. I'm for the 12th volume. Yeah, it's amazing. It gave me chills several times. Right, it's really profound. But this one, like I really love this book. Like it has some passages that will make you go what? Like let me see if I can find one. Yeah, no, but they don't have that much context. Oh, here we have something that it's good. I remember reading this. When you look at the world, the various arts have been tailored to be items for sale. Likewise, a person thinks of himself as something to be sold, and even the implements of these ways are preferred as merchandise. This mentality divides the fruit into two and makes much less of the fruit than of the flower. In this way, of the martial arts especially, form is made into ornament, the flower is forced into a bloom, and technique is made into display. Such an amazing like book, you know what I mean? Then this is the goated one. Like it started with this one. If you're not, I'm not sure what to read. I don't know how many times I've talked about this book. This book, I read it every year. Like every year I read this book again. Like, like the creative act is shit. It's what it is. And this is it. Nah, I'm just playing. Like it's not shit. It has some nice idea, and I get why people love it so much. But if you read these books first, and then you read the Creative Act, you will see it's taken from all of these books, and it's not really going that deep with the subject. It's just grabbing things from all over the place. You know what I mean? But not going in depth in any one of them. It has like a really nice idea. It's the idea that I really loved about that book. The Creative Act, I mean, is that this idea that we are antennas, right? We are antennas and we are in touch with the ideas that are in culture, right? So the most creative people are the ones that are more in tune with these ideas, right? That's why similar ideas arise in similar times or around the same period, right? Maybe too soon, some ideas come too soon. Or maybe you have an idea and you see other people manifest it faster. It's not because they copy you, it's because it was time for that idea, right? The information that was going around that resulted in that idea, that artist had a bigger sensibility than you, right? So that idea of the Creative Act, I think It's amazing, but it's the only thing that book has that I haven't seen anywhere else, right? If you want a book that's gonna be a bit more practical and really shake your socks off and make you think and make you like, how do you become an artist and a designer? Like Art and Fear. Art and Fear. Then we have Goated Meditations by Marcus Aurelius. I know, guys, that this is the soy boy. This is the soy boy stoic red pill. I know, but it's Goated. Like just give it a quick read. Yeah, the David Bales one. Yeah, but give a read to Meditations. It's not what it seems like. It's not that self-righteous red pill bullshit. Every 12-year-old is making it to be, like focusing only on the Andrew Tate bullshit that goes around. You know what I mean? This is an entirely deep and wholesome book that I love it. I just love it. I love this book. Love it. Oh, Building a Brand Story. This book, it's amazing to understand what you should be discussing with your clients, right? To stop selling images and start selling them on the story of their businesses and how you can empower that. You know what I mean? This book and the Win Without Pitching Manifesto have really shifted the way I interact with clients, right? Shifting the talk about images and talking about ideas, right? That helps put you in the mind of your client as something a bit more elevated than someone that just makes images, you know what I mean? Which really helps to the longevity of your business. And also, I found that you get far more freedom because they understand that you know what's up, so they leave you to your ways. You know what I mean? It's like when you go to a restaurant and you order a dish, you don't go tell the fucking cook how to make it. He knows what he's doing. Well, this is the same. You know what I mean? But the creative field has been so neglected, right? That we are seeing, especially when you're just starting out, like a pixel pusher, right? Like a facilitator or of images, right? And it's not like we don't do this. Like even when you're just starting out, you're putting your vision as something that you're giving the client, right? There are things from your own taste that go into the piece that makes it great, right? But we don't acknowledge that till very late in your career when you become a professional, right? When you like a quote unquote professional, you know what I mean? So those books are great. And then this one is really hard, but really amazing. This is it's called Homo Ludens by Johan Huizinga. It's a book on play, but play as a culture shifting device. Like the book states that we are not Homo sapiens, we are Homo Ludens, because play is the way in which we interact with the world, you know what I mean? Like I couldn't explain it in a simple way because it goes in depth, like what is play? Like literally how do we play and what is playing, you know what I mean? Like one quick example I can give from the book is he talks about, you know, when you're about to play something, you play voluntarily and you have rules and you have a playground, right? Like these are like basic principles of play. So for example, you have religion, and religion is like that. You have rules, you engage in religion, and religion has its sacred places, you know? So by those rules, religion is play, like by definition and by performance, like the ritualistic act of playing, like we can see it perfectly in religion, right? And then it goes into an analysis of like justice, commerce, like how different like aborigines cultures develop, how we go from the old rituals to the way we have play now, right? And how we kind of lost play. Even sports have become too institutionalized, so the play element starts to be a lot less apparent. But yeah, these books are amazing, and I think if you're kind of struggling and you are lacking on ideas, these books are really going to help you to at least kickstart some way in which you could start thinking of things a bit differently. You know what I mean? Give you some tools to I don't know, to start thinking different. Yeah. There is nothing like for a beginner designer. Read it when you will, right? And then read it again. All these books are meant for be read and then read again. You know? Like Art and Fear, I read it, the first time I read it I'm 32 now. And I read that book when I was 19, like over 10 years. I read that book the first time. In those 10 years, I've read that book like 5 or 6 times, right? And every time I read it, I get something new, right? Because I've read other books and I watched other movies and I've experienced my career in different stages. So there is no end in which you can start digging stuff from books, you know what I mean? But yeah, if you go to my website, let me show you. I'm just retarded. If you go to my website and you go like to more resources, you go to books and tech, and here we have the Black Codex. If you enter here, I have a small snippet on books and whatnot. Access the Black Codex. You can save this page, and here I have a Notion with all books. I need to update it because I've read other books, but here we have like all that I'm saying, all the books with the subjects and whatnot, and then we have the Amazon link. The Amazon link to buy it, and if you buy it from there, I get a small percentage of the sale because that's an affiliate link, you know what I mean? But here you have a bunch of books to sort of start reading, and yeah, sort of like go off of that, you know what I mean? Read books on different subjects because it will gonna make you like cross-reference, you know what I mean? Like to understand is to unify, you know, and to unify you need to have like a whole swab of seemingly even contradicting information, you know what I mean? As you start to add the pieces in the puzzle, everything starts to come together, right? If you go down a really narrow path, your understanding, I feel like kind of dissolves, you know, instead of gaining understand bleh. when your understanding becomes narrow in like only one field, for example, you read only design, right? You lose the complexity of being able to grasp a bunch of subjects, right? And in that you start to understand how they relate to each other, right? And that interconnectedness of subjects and stuff will give you a much better map into who you are, you know, and what do you like and what do you make of the information. That is what will ultimately give flavor to your work, right? Because your own perspective will start to come off of that understanding of different subjects, right? If you only read books on design, for example, okay, you might do like crazier grids, but what do you put on the grid? You know what I mean? Like, yeah, you make crazy grids and that could be, technique can get you pretty far, you know what I mean? But what is the work that makes you get up from bed in the morning and going all like, oh shit, I need to make this, you know? Like that is like, how do you order the words flying around, right? How do you catch the birds of ideas that fly within you, right? That's with words, right? Do you know how this happened to you? Are you pricing based on value? You mean my work? Yeah, like I try to price on that, but it's pretty abstract question, but it's it's nice to think about it like that. You price the value your work has for the client. You don't price your work or how hard was it to make for you. You know what I mean? Yeah, exactly. Like, how do you connect the ideas with what you want to say, you know? Oh, talking about this made me really tired. Like, I don't know if I want to make my piece, you know what I mean? I have an idea, my guys. What do you think if we do another stream tomorrow? I'll be with my friend. I'll come with my friend here because I need to see a friend, but we could do a stream tomorrow and do the piece live. It's not that you need to explain yourself. It's not that you need to explain yourself more in your art. That's another thing. I remember like thinking that your work needs to explain itself. Right? Sometimes it does, but sometimes what you make, it will create an effect on the people that seen it that can't properly put like what does it mean, you know what I mean? Like the piece that I showed you earlier, like the measures for human flight, and with this piece, let me show you again because it's crazy. For example, this poster, like the ideas came from books that I read, from other pieces that I saw, right? It takes inspiration from other works that I've recently seen. But the plane, you can't explain this piece. There is too much abstractness to explain it. I'm sure it has a logic to it, right? That with a quantum computer from the future, we could explain why I took every decision. But for what matters to us, that's not important really. What's important is that we have these elements to resonate with us and to put into our work, right? And because they resonated with us, if we have the tools to make them what we see in our heads, or to the degree that we know that what we are saying is true, then it's gonna resonate with others, right? Yeah. That's crazy. What you just said. Like, not explain itself, but put yourself into a piece that resonates with you or others. That's perfectly put. Yeah, it's not that to think what others like. Like, I feel that if we put ourselves into doing the work and that we feel is important, and we do it like really, if we sit ourselves to do the work that calls to us and we feel motivated to do, and to even do it when we don't feel motivated, like, and we sit down to really do it, it's not a guarantee that others would listen, but I guess the chances are pretty high. Like, if you commit to do it, there is a part in this book that I always remember it from Art and Fear. Let me see if I find it. Because it's crazy, and always, I think it's about what we were saying. I have it like signaled because it's crazy. Let me know if you have other questions, guys. What's good, JC? Oh, I have a separator here. Fuck, I needed one. How you guys doing? I'm gonna find it because I have it like all signaled. Here is one of these. hear this, my guys. Like, this is the part that I was telling you. Like, the chapter is called chapter 5, like finding your work. And it goes like this, like, listen. The world displays perfect neutrality on whether we achieve any outward manifestation of our inner desires, but not art. Art is exquisitely responsive. Nowhere is feedback so absolute as in the making of art. The work we make, even if unnoticed and undesired by the world, vibrates in perfect harmony to everything we put into it, or withhold from it. In the outside world, there may be no reaction to what we do. In our artwork, there is nothing but reaction. The breathtakingly wonderful thing about this reaction is its truthfulness. Look at your work and it tells you how it is when you hold back or when you embrace. When you're lazy, your art is lazy. When you hold back, it holds back. When you hesitate, it stands there staring, hands in its pocket. But when you commit, it comes on like blazes. Shit. I get the chicken skin, you know what I mean? But it is what I just say. I feel like commit to the work and really do it, like really try to do it, and it will happen, you know, or you'll have more confidence in it happening. And if it doesn't happen, then you can be like at peace that you committed, and then that you used your human body with all its capabilities to do your calling. That not many people can really say that, I feel, right? So if you have that opportunity to do the work, just do it. You know, like the Nike ad, you know, just do it. But it's literally true. But I feel like we should steal Nike the just do it. Like, it should be like a world patrimony or whatever. Like, it shouldn't be owned by a brand. But yeah, yo guys, I'm cooked. I'm not gonna do my poster today. I'll do it tomorrow. I'm cooked. Let's do it tomorrow on a stream. Do you feel that's fire, or am I being lazy? You made a poster, JC, you made a poster for the assignment? Oh, I don't see her poster. Or I don't know if it's a she or a he. Well, okay. So, okay, guys, I'm gonna bounce to right now because I want to go get some ramen. I'm starving. I'm from Malik. But it was nice. We talked about books, which I think it's important. We all should read more. And you know what's hard about books? Oh, I'm only giving feedback in the stream on the assignments because of the we already like set it on the guidelines. It's really hard to move from piece to piece when the criteria changes. Like so it's better if we stick to one subject and we give feedback on the assignment. You know what I mean? Like, I'll give feedback, like put it on feedback, and I'll try to give feedback. But to give feedback on the Discord, on the feedback channel alone, like put really what you were trying to do with the piece. Like really say what was your aim, and that will be better. What do you mean, my guy? Like finish reading them? Like if I read all of these books, yeah, I did, and I have more, like far more in the other part, but these are the go-to ones, I feel like. Yeah. Yeah, I have more there, but oh, the hard part about books, hard in the sense of cool. No, I like finishing books. It's like finish your books, my guy. The hard part about books right now, hard in the sense of that's really good, really crazy, is that I think it's a really nice way to balance all the overstimulation that we have, right? Like if you are just able to sit down for an hour and just look at ink in paper and saying that's hard, that's a superpower nowadays, right? To be able to, and once you get into reading, it becomes pretty stimulating, right? It's not that you need to force it. When you get into the habit of reading, you'll yearn for reading. You'll want to read. You know what I mean? And to be able to find joy and to find clarity in this like action that's from the apparently, like from face value, it's from the most understimulating that there is. Nowadays it's a superpower, right? Because it actually soothes you down, you know what I mean? I guess it depends on the book, because sometimes it will leave you bad, you know what I mean? Sometimes it's not great. If you're reading something that's especially dark or profound, it can leave you pretty ragged, you know what I mean? But yeah, it's a really nice exercise to claim, have proper calm time just for yourself. That's it. That's crazy. So okay, my guys, I'm gonna leave you with that one, and let's do another stream tomorrow. And just do the fucking poster, you know what I mean? So yeah, see you tomorrow, my guys. Really nice talking to you all. Maybe I can give some feedback tomorrow if you want to make another piece, but I try to make my piece tomorrow on stream. So yeah, let's do that, my guys. See you tomorrow. Fuck peace. Wish you conflict. Shit. Read books.